Perfetto, grazie, grazie. Qua come si fa a... bene, bene. Alexis, dimmi quando posso cominciare. Bene.
Let me know when we can start. We can start now if you want.
Bene, bene, bene. Allora, alla mia sinistra Paolo del BROCCO.
To my left,
Alla mia sinistra
Paolo del BROCCO
di Rai Cinema. Da quando esiste Rai Cinema,
Rai Cinema,
ho sempre prodotto i miei film con loro, tranne uno.
who has always produced my films, apart from one,
Per non mettermi
which I will not mention, to not disturb him and not be disturbed myself. It was the Cayman, Domenico Procaccci. It is the third film that we have produced together. We have made Abbius Papam together, and before that, Mia Madre. Riccardo SCAMARCIO. It's the first time I worked with him. I had been following him for many years. He has worked in extremely varied films. What persuaded me, without any hesitation, that thanks to his acting, which I had seen on the screen whilst I was preparing for Tre Piani, that persuaded me to take him on for this project. Margherita Boy. She is the only one among us who did not do any tests before the project. She is the only one. It's the fourth film which we have made together, Cayman, Abbius Papam, Mia Madre, and Tre Piani. Alba ROHRWACHER, I had been wanting to work with her for a long time, and finally, with this project, Tre Piani, I found for her a role which suited her, and I was very happy to work with Alba. Elena LIETTI, I discovered her watching the TV series Il Miracolo, The Miracle. Valia Santella, I produced her first film. She was the director. It was in 2004. She has already worked with me on the screenplay for Mia Madre. The other screenwriter, Federica Pontremoli, worked on the screenplay for me, with me for Cayman and Abbius Papam.
Con lei e Valia Santella eravamo un po' inchiodati su un soggetto e giravamo.
4 years ago, we were preparing a subject together, and she said, "Why don't you read this book, Tre Piani?" I am a slow reader, but I read it from beginning to end in a flash, and I knew then that it would be my next film.
E poi volevo salutare Adriano Giannini.
Next, I wanted to hail Adriano Giannini in the role of Giorgio. I was very happy to work with him. The actor who plays my son in this film and who kicks me in the belly. And as you know, I don't do things half-heartedly. We'll talk about it later. Alessandro SPERDUTI.
Poi c'è Denise TANTUCCI che interpreta Charlotte.
Next, we have Denise TANTUCCI in the role of Charlotte.
Poi DALL'ORTO che interpreta Francesca Grande.
DALL'ORTO in the role of Francesca. She is remarkable. And Francesca, enfant. Chiara Balsa.
Karen Di Porto che interpreta la madre di Charlotte.
Karen Di Porto, Charlotte's mother.
Michele D'Attanasio, il direttore della fotografia.
Michele D'Attanasio, director of photography. And finally, the writer of the book Tre Piani, Eshkol.
Merci beaucoup. Bienvenue à tous.
Thank you. Welcome.
Félicitations pour la Coupe d'Europe.
Congratulations for a start on the European Cup. That is great for you, Italians. I have a first question for Nanni Moretti. It's the first time that you have interpreted a novel. This novel talks about very profound subjects and very intimate subjects. What happens inside our flats, our houses. Why did you make this choice? Perhaps you could first explain why you chose this novel and why a subject so intimate.
Allora, più passa il tempo, più mi piace fare questo lavoro.
As time goes on, I enjoy what I do more and more. Passion is no longer enough. Passion is important, but you need a lot of attention to detail. More time passes, more I enjoy working, but also more time passes, I am capable of explaining why I make certain choices. We have a book, a novel, which tackles universal subjects: guilt, justice, responsibility as a parent, our choices, which always involve consequences, actions as well, actions where we need to assume responsibility. It is such a dense novel. I didn't want a main protagonist in this film. I didn't want to be in cliches, whether it be music or in the editing or in the photography or in the screenplay, nor in the sets. I wanted a work of quality, which would not be complacent with complacent protagonists. Regarding actors, to give a certain definition, I would say that I tried to be realistic, but not naturalistic.
Non spontanea. La spontaneità io non la trovo un valore.
Had the actors not being spontaneous. I don't believe in spontaneity. What I believe in is authenticity. These actors and actresses who are wonderful brought their characters to play in an authentic manner.
Buongiorno, sono Chiara Ugolini di Repubblica. Una domanda.
Hi, a question from La Repubblica for Nanni Moretti and his actors. Did you watch the football match yesterday? There was also an Italian team which did wonderfully well. Did you celebrate this? Answer: personally, but of course I do not speak on behalf of everyone. I saw the penalties at the end. I was not able to watch everything. Paolo del BROCCO, for example, I'm sure he watched everything. I'm sure he watched the match. Yesterday, I was not able to see it all.
Io correvo sulla croisette come un pazzo per raggiungere il posto dove vedere la partita.
I rushed across the croisette from one end to the other to try and find a TV to watch the match on.
Nel senso, no? Ci sta la partita. No, fa piacere, no, per carità.
We can continue to celebrate. It's not something which happens every day.
Il y a une autre question là-bas.
Another question over there.
Alessandra Magliaro dell'Ansa. Volevo sapere.
Alessandra Magnalo from Lanza. A question from Moretti. Have you read the reviews of your film, or will you read them later? And what do you think of them?
Devo dire che 40 anni fa.
Yes, 40 years ago, I read all the reviews.
Andavo alle edicole notturne per prendere.
I used to go and buy the newspapers late at night, even in the middle of the night.
Ecco, ora
to read the papers as soon as they came out. These days, I am a little calmer. I take a step back. I have not yet seen the reviews, but I have more detachment. I buy 2 newspapers and I read the reviews.
Peter Parhut, Germania Interfilm. Una questione per signor Moretti. Ho avuto l'impressione di ritrovare qualche immagine.
I had the impression
Il ballo su
of seeing again a few images from previous films. The square at the end, the tango, a bit like La Messe est finie, the balcony from Bianca,
Francesca come la comicia della giovane
and Francesca when she is an adult and also a child. This film is like a summation. Is this film a kind of summation of your previous work? Answer. Let's say that over the last 40, 45 years,
Penso che si possano considerare I miei film come
I think that
di un unico romanzo.
we can take my films as being like different chapters of the same novel.
Lunga clandestina.
With regards to the dancing in the street, it is a scene which is not in the book. We added it with Federica
Sembrava
for
importante questa apertura
the
verso l'esterno.
direction, and it seemed to me important to give an opening to the exterior. We had
Siamo rinchiusi nelle nostre
closed ourselves in over the last few years, closed into our own lives, our flats,
ecco quel ballo per
our
strada,
3 floors, and this dancing in the street
gli inquilini in quel palazzo verso il mondo esterno, verso gli altri.
enables the inhabitants of this block of flats to go out into the streets. The pandemic has masked a big lie which we had believed in during the past. The lie being that we could live without other people,
Invece
that we could live without feeling part of a community.
uno sguardo
But in reality, it's at the end of the film that we open up to the exterior, which means towards others and to the future.
Buongiorno, sono Caprara della Stampa.
Caprara from La Stampa. A question for Margherita Bui.
Moretti told that you are our Italian Meryl Streep. This is the first question, and so I want to know what do you think about this, and then the other about the football match, because you were in the film Italia-Germania 4-3, I remember, and now you are here with this film and Italia win another time. Thank you.
No, tu hai detto qualcosa?
è quello che ha detto lei
No.
all'inizio.
Siete pazzi, vabbè. Non so che dire, cioè
È vero.
Sì, sì, va bene, è vero. Va bene, io sono contenta. Cioè
It is true.
No,
I'm very pleased about this.
onorata.
It is an honor.
Cosa penso?
Regarding the football game, what do I think of it?
Perché comunque avevamo visto prima Berrettini, io
I am very happy about it.
ho visto soffrire, combattere.
I also follow tennis closely. I've seen people fight and suffer.
Invece poi ieri
What
sera
else can I say?
soffrendo
Yesterday,
tra il dolce
we saw the penalties.
e quindi sono felicissima, mi piace
I'm very happy about this result.
sportivo in cui insomma ci siamo anche ritrovati
It is a
qualcosa
great moment for sport.
di bello che ci ha unito, che ci ha comunque
We were
dato
able
gioia.
to share in a moment of happiness, of unity, and yesterday was a beautiful day from all points of view.
Poi è una squadra senza divi. Senza divi. Intendiamoci.
It is a team without any divas. let's be clear. I am in favor of divas, but in the world of football, we have a team without divas, and this is something which is healthy. You are a very strong team, and I wanted to put a question to the screenwriter, because the story across these 3 floors involves things which happen in a very intense manner. A lot happens. This intensity must have been difficult to balance, because this is also a sensitive film, but also a powerful film, because so much happens in the lives of these personalities, these characters. How did you work with Nanni Moretti? How did you find this balance which is necessary in order to deliver such a powerful story, to talk about everything that happens for all these people, and to say that in the lives of each and every one of us, there is always important things happening?
Ma innanzitutto il film ha una struttura diversa rispetto al libro.
This film has a different structure from that of the book. In the novel, there are 3 separate stories. The characters do not meet. However, for us, we wanted to do something different, thanks to Federica Pontremoli, screenwriter, and also Valia Santella, also screenwriter. We wanted to change the book structure. We mixed the different stories in 3 parts, in 5-year chunks. However, in the book, there is such a density.
Ti porta ad avere tutti i personaggi molto importanti.
That we want to present all the characters as being important. What was the question? The question was how to come to this balance.
Sì, naturalmente con il lavoro, ecco, insomma.
Yes, naturally.
Io dedico
we
molto tempo
obtain the balance through hard work. I spent a lot of time on this. For the writing, the filming, the editing.
Alle volte si annoiano.
There are directors who get bored.
Poi dicono
they move quickly on to the editing. And during the mixing, they say, oh, that's for the technicians. I'm not going to put my nose in that. But I do differently. At each stage of the filmmaking, I find it an important moment for expression. And it is using all these different methods that we construct the object of the film.
Il permesso
this story was such that we could not be hasty. We needed slow transitions. Each character is important. Therefore, nearly every scene is an essential scene.
Come avrete visto,
as you have been able to see,
alla storia di Riccardo Scamarcio, nella seconda
we have in the first part
nella terza in cui
given more importance to Riccardo Scamarcio, in the second to another character, and in the third part we are looking to the future, and we gave more importance to the story of the judge, Margherita Bui.
Arriva una domanda sul film che è stato fermo per più di un anno. Ecco, in tutto questo tempo io
you will probably ask me a question about the filming, which stopped for more than a year. I always said to Domenico PROCACCI, Domenico, let's wait for cinema theatres to reopen. I don't want to know about Disney or Amazon or Netflix. I don't want to hear about them. I don't want to know how much they have to offer me. Domenico, don't tell me this information. Hide it. For me, it is essential to watch films in cinema theatres as a producer or actor or director.
io lo dico da spettatore.
Or exhibitor, because I am an exhibitor of a cinema theatre in Rome. What is important
Al cinema
is that as a cinema viewer, I find it essential to watch other directors' films in cinema theatres.
40
I have the same curiosity when I watch other directors' films as I had 30 or 40 years ago.
Bonjour, Jeanne Vogrine, VH Magazine Maroc.
From Morocco. I have a question for the actors, Riccardo, Margherita, Elena, Alba. These are very specific characters, both very ordinary but specific. When you are making a film based on an adapted novel, do you go and find the characters in the screenplay, or do you have to also go and look at them in the book?
Elena?
La sceneggiatura, come dire, per me era il punto di riferimento.
For me, the screenplay was the most important reference.
Quello che più frequentemente riguardavo, ristudiavo, mi rimettevo.
It's what I would read and reread in order to study for my role.
Del libro che io avevo letto, insomma, e avevo amato.
The novel, of course, which I had read and which I had enjoyed before the filming.
Una fonte di ispirazione.
I would also read it again to find both the similarities and the differences compared to what we were doing.
La sceneggiatura era scritta in una maniera veramente molto.
The screenplay was written in an extremely precise manner. We had the basics of everything. I had much enjoyed the novel, and I would say that the screenplay was a tool, and the book was something to enrich ourselves, where we could go and find inspiration by comparing the similarities and the differences.
Insomma, chiaramente sono spesso, diciamo, quando poi ci sono dei libri da cui poi viene tratto una sceneggiatura, un film, è chiaro che serve.
When you have a novel on which a film is based, it's clear that we have there a different kind of tool. The screenplay and then the novel, at least as regards my character,
per me è stato molto utile perché comunque
tell in a lengthy and precise way what my character is. For me, this was very useful because it enriched what I found in the screenplay.
Naturalmente quello che ho provato leggendo quella
Of course, what I tried to do,
piano che mi riguardava, cioè il terzo piano, che
at least for my floor, the third floor in this block of flats, the story of a woman
poi l'ho ritrovato
who is quite wonderful, and I found all this in the screenplay, of course, but there are also three levels. There is the book, the screenplay, and the film, which is something yet again.
Però è tutto molto interessante, molto bello, soprattutto quando c'è appunto un libro sotto.
All this was extremely interesting. We had as a base the novel, which gave us strength, which is the fundamental part of this film.
Per me entrambi gli strumenti, diciamo la sceneggiatura e il romanzo, in maniera diversa sono stati.
I would say that the novel and the screenplay were both extremely useful to me. I read both several times. I tried to find
Questa sensazione viva nella mia testa.
Sensations and to maintain these sensations in my mind when I tried to personify the character.
Molto giusta quando insomma Nanni mi ha offerto il film.
Something which I found very true when Moretti offered me this film is that having chosen this novel in our times is very interesting, because the novel has ambivalent, strange, undefinable characters. It is a kind of a snapshot of the society in which we live, a very intelligent snapshot, for 1,000 different reasons. I will not give you a whole sociology thesis on the subject, but what I see in this film, what I see in the ambiguity of my character in particular, is something that we could rapidly condemn, but I tried to personify this character in such a way that he could bring about empathy in the eyes of others, even though in reality this character is a monster, rather like that we perhaps have in each and every one of us.
Movistar TV Spain. It's a question for Nanni.
Hi, a question from Spain for Nanni MORETTI. Congratulations for this fantastic, profound film.
We were like
Question in English.
Why did you choose not to include a spark of humor, of your irony in this movie? Thank you.
Qui non c'era posto. C'era posto.
There was no room for that.
Mi sembrava che non so, che stonasse, ma io
I don't know what to say. I feel that
drammatico il film. Lo trovo doloroso.
This film is not a drama. It is a painful film, but which never becomes a drama. It remains a hymn to life. Especially thanks to the women in this film. The men in this film remain obstinate, stubborn, don't want to change position, they stay rigid, they are convinced of their righteousness. The judge, which I play, is a character who is extremely hard on his son. The character interpreted by Adriano Giannini doesn't want to have anything to do with his brother, where the character interpreted by Riccardo SCAMARCIO is a stubborn character who remains dominated by his own fear, which turns into an obsession. It is therefore the women who try to piece all this together.
Lasciarsi alle spalle quello che è successo e andare verso il futuro, verso il nuovo.
They try to look towards the future,
relazioni, per esempio,
to a new type of human relation. It is the case of Margherita Borghi with our son at the end of the film.
Teresa Marchesi, Huffington Post. Volevo sapere da Moretti.
Huffington Post. Question for Moretti. We have a novel, 3 levels Freudian, in the characters, in the personality of the characters. I have no doubt I wanted to interpret this formidable character. Why did you want to take on this role? This role called me. It was a calling. And who are these other characters? Eles is played by Riccardo Giamaccio. Lucci. He is driven by his impulses, and he always finds himself in situations which only exist in his mind, but which then cause extremely tough consequences for the other characters. The character of Alba, Monica, is conflicted between her own instincts and her rational mind. This instinct is the instincts that Monica ends up giving into.
No, in realtà, mentre scrivevamo con Federica e Valia,
writing with Federica and Valia, was writing the screenplay, I was hesitant and I wasn't quite sure what to do. They were insistent. They said, you should play this character. That's what they said. I trusted them, and that's why I played this character.
Pas forcément d'humour, mais il y a quelque chose de très important dans ce film.
There's something very important in this film. It is smiling. Alba smiles, Margherita smiles, and there's also the smile of Riccardo Scamacci at the end.
En quoi c'est important pour vous que ce film...
In what regard is it important for you that in this film, which is about the necessity in the end of all coming together again, in what regard it is important to go towards something which is moving forwards, which brings a human solution, and to display these smiles on the women's faces, but also smiles on the faces of the male actors at the end?
Io non ho visto dove è lei.
È lì, è la nostra moderatrice Nanni.
I didn't see where you were. Here, at the table.
C'est quelque chose, c'est comme la fin. On va s'élever tous.
We will all stand up at the end.
Dopo tanto dolore, senza fare un happy end, senza
after so much pain,
dare una soluzione edificante,
without ending with a happy end, without giving lessons,
il futuro, ecco.
We opened a door towards the future.
Vincesse quell'ostinazione maschile.
I didn't want the male obstinacy to win and should stay fixed in his own role. The father who's a judge, the brother who hates his own brother, and a father who is obsessed by the protection of his daughter. What I wanted was for there to be an opening towards the world outside of this apartment block and an opening towards the future for the three stories which we were telling.
On va finir sur cette
I think we will end on this answer. Personally, I would like to thank you for having made a film like this and for everything you've had to say on the roles of men and women. I think all of that is fantastic. Thank you.
Merci, merci.
Thank you.